You cannot soar with the eagles in the morning if you're hooting with the owls at night. Get that horn going. Boom! Yeah! Yeah! Yes! Woo! Okay.
10, 9, 8, 7.
Welcome to the Brandon Fogal Show. Every moment is an electrifying event. This is not just a podcast, it's a revolution of thought, unfiltered, real, and raw. The Brandon Fogal Show, where excellence meets evolution.
2, 1. This is the Brandon Fogal Show.
I actually need to probably take something to boost my energy in the morning. I need to do that, you know? But I have heard that whenever you get up, you should give yourself an hour before you have your first cup of coffee. And it had to do with something, you know, so if your brain chemistry and all that kind of stuff to get going or something like that. It's not as great for you if you have that cup of coffee immediately. So I do try to wait a little bit. I don't know about you. I mean, before I heard that, I would have just woke up and just had coffee going into my mouth. But I have heard that you should wait a little bit before you start pumping that coffee into your system. You only live once. So get after it. We got to get after it. We got to kill it. Woo! Ah! Okay. Ah! All right. Today, I'm actually going to be talking to you about legit stuff. I know if you saw my last video, you saw it was about how are you going to suck your way to success podcasting. You know, content creating, baby. This video is going to be more hands-on. I'm going to show you my screen. We're going to dive right into it. And we're going to go what is happening under the hood, baby. What's under that hood? You know, it's not how you stands by your podcast. It's how you race your podcast. You know, Fast and the Furious, Paul Walker, Ja Rule, Vin Diesel, baby. How do you not get pumped up for Vin Diesel? All right. But Ja Rule, he says to Paul Walker as he's standing by, he's like the little corny guy, white guy out and standing by his car, you know, just trying to fit in. And really, I'm not going to give it away, but really he's a cop. But he's standing by his car, and then Ja Rule comes up and he goes, man, it's not how you stands by your car. It's how you race your car. Better learn that. And that's a awesome line. I use it all the time. I try to use it once a day in my life, you know, in some form or fashion. Man, I hope some of this does not make the cut, because a lot of times I'm just flying through and I can't check everything, and then something extremely embarrassing might make the cut someday, and I apologize in advance for that. So this is gonna be a legit podcast. This is gonna be a legit podcast someday. You know, we're just getting there at this time, but I'm gonna have something to look back on and say, man, look how far I came. Look how far I came. And the same goes for you. Just put it out there. Just throw that stuff on the wall, on the wall. I guess it used to be, whenever social media first came out, you had walls. It was like your Facebook wall, and maybe that is kind of your feed now. But, it was your wall, man, and people want to put something on your wall. They want to say, remember in Facebook, they could poke you, and you could poke people? Man, what happened to that? Can you still do that? I don't know. Gotta do it. Boom! Yeah! Okay. All right. I think I need to dial back the energy. All right, I am switching it up a little bit. All right, this is about to get mad personal, man. This is about to get mad personal. Too much knowledge. As you can see, I open up my YouTube page, and this is what pops up. So you can see the stuff that I've been searching, and this kind of looks scary, but this is the movie Trap with, look, what's his name? He's Josh Hartnett. He's awesome. But it's going to be a scary one. But you can see the stuff I've been searching, and it gives you a little window into my soul. You open up your YouTube homepage. YouTube, they know what you have at least been searching lately. So you can see I got a little bit Joe Rogan up there. I'm always watching Joe Rogan. I'm going to be clipping the snot out of this stuff, because my internet, it goes how it wants to. It goes how it feels. It runs on its own time. So I will try to explain as much as possible, give that detail of what is happening. I am showing my screen, And so just for people that are just listening, I'm going to try to describe it as in much detail as possible. So right now I'm on my YouTube page. I'm going to try to switch over. So this video is about what is under the hood making a podcast, at least from my world at this point in time. It's probably going to look a lot different as the days go on and in the future, but I wanted to start it off right here just so you have just something to go by if you want to get out there and start creating videos and get out there and start your own podcast and start going, because it's cool. It's fun. It's fun. Just for you as a personal outlet and just talking and connecting with people. And just doing this, it has opened up so many conversations for me in my life, in my personal life. And then it just people that I hadn't talked with forever reaching out to me and contacting me and just talking to me it's really fun just because if you step into this world of podcasting, whether you want to actually whatever you're wanting to go for, it's actually just cool because it puts you in a community of people that are doing this type of stuff. But it's really cool, just that aspect of it. All right, so right now I have my YouTube page pulled up. I wanted to go into what goes into my day and actually creating a video and what I'm doing. I'm doing my videos like on the weekend with my other show, Morning Coffee and Bible, and then I'm also doing this, the Brandon Fogal Show. Ultimately, I would love to get to the point where I want to do it where I'm doing a conversation type structure where I have other people on. So what I have learned in doing this, and I wish I would have known immediately at the beginning. So if you are a podcaster, and a lot of people might not know this, for me, whenever I got into this, it took me about a month before I understood what QuickTime was and actually how people were doing it. Because I remember I was like, how do I even record myself? I did not understand how do you even record yourself and what to do. And it's like, you want to try to find the way to do everything, but then you want to try to find, well, what's the best route of doing it? Because out of all the things that you can do in recording yourself and all that stuff, there's like a million different ways of doing it and a million different choices to make. So I was trying to find, how do I even do it in the first place? But it took me forever before I even understood what QuickTime was and to even start recording myself by that. I'm not using that now, and I'll actually maybe switch gears and show you what I'm using currently. It might look kind of weird if I pull it up, but I use an app called Detail right now. And Detail, it gives you, and I'll pull this over and it might make you dizzy, I don't know, but you'll see when I'm recording myself, like I can see I have multiple different camera options. I can share my screen like I'm doing. So if you see this right now, you're seeing like the limitless galaxy of corridors and time. I don't know, that made no sense. But when we get to the editing part, you're going to be able to, I'll show you how you can just cut all that out, because a lot of that nonsense you don't want to be hearing or having people hear. Eventually, I will want you hearing that. I want to be at the point where everything I say is worth listening to. I want to get to the point where everything I say is something that will help someone, that will be of value to someone. And I think I just need to train. I need to, for me personally, I need to talk to work on being able to say stuff that is valuable for people. And I know I basically give you a window to my soul and just show you I am completely transparent and open. Like, you're going to see stuff that you probably wish you hadn't seen if you ever hop into here, because I'm going to show you how it is, because I want to be as authentic to the core as humanly possible. So I want to give that to you. Really, right now, I use one camera. I mean, I have the cameras on my webcams and my computer and everything like that, but I use one camera and it's my phone. But sometimes my wife will let me use her phone, but that's tough. It's tough if you got a phone to give up your phone to someone else, even for an hour, it's tough, but sometimes I get to use her phone and I'll use multiple angles. Eventually, I am actually going to get a legit camera, I got to get something better on the screen than this. Okay, people don't want to see that. All right, so I'm going to hop around, but I use that Detail app, and it just gives you the ability to show your screen, have multiple different cameras. That was the Detail app of it. So that is just getting that down here and starting recording and putting that out there. And that is the software I am currently using of Detail, and it's pretty good. I would say it's pretty good. It has not failed me yet. Next, we're gonna hop over, and I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about. What I wish I would have known early on, and I'm just gonna hop over there. It is now, okay, obviously, right when I click in, it says, yes, I knew when I extend it. Okay, right when I clicked over there, And I've expired. I am expired. Okay. All right, guys, this is all you're gonna get. You're not gonna unless my internet chooses to speed up. This is all we're gonna see. I wanted to get in there, so something I wish I would have known early on, which was an RSS feed. Basically, it's a hub that you can have from one site or one place that can host, that you can shoot out all your podcasts, all the stuff you create, and it will go to so many different platforms. It can also I always say post, right? When I want to say post, it can also post directly to your social media. I use what's called Podbean, and it's really good. Don't let this fool you. I wanted to actually get in and show you that my analytics kind of just show you what I'm seeing and all that. Maybe that'll have to be another video, but man, my internet does not like to work with me when I want it to work, So if you are looking at my screen, all you are seeing is the opening click in thing. But if I try to click in right now, it will just spin and spin and spin and spin. And it just takes it. And the reason is because of my internet. It has nothing to do with the site or anything like that. But so I use what's called Podbean. It's my RSS host site that I can just send from. And whenever I actually learned about the RSS and all that jazz, I researched and tried to look at which ones I want to use. And there's different ones. There's ones that cost more. There's ones that cost less. There's ones that are good about one thing and not so good at others. For me, I found that, and Podbean actually has its own app for your phone. And that's pretty cool as well. And I actually listen to podcasts on Podbean of other different places because it pulls in from everything. And I can also see my own stuff as it's going and being put out there. So I would say Podbean has been very, very good for me. But that is my RSS host site that I'm using to shoot out all my stuff. All right. So a lot of the stuff that I create, I use what's called, I think people know what this is called. Adobe. I use Adobe for a lot of my stuff. Basically, when you sign up for Adobe and you get like their subscription and all that kind of stuff, they give you so many different things that you can use to create your stuff and editing and all this types of stuff. Adobe is awesome. I love Adobe. And with it, you get Photoshop and a big one I'm going to show you in a second, Premiere Pro. Premiere Pro is something that's basically, it's an editing software. All right, right now, if you're looking at my screen, you can see my Premiere Pro and you can see how I edit stuff basically. And I am a novice at editing and I don't know if I'm ever going to get great at it, but right now I've just kind of learned it as I went. And basically you can set it up so you throw your stuff into this area. If you're looking at my screen, like if you want to take videos and recording like that, as well as music to overlay, a lot of times I will record and I will export from my recording the video portion of it as well as the audio portion of it, because for some reason the audio portion pulled out separately, I think it sounds better and I get a lot more, like you see down here, all these different things right here of, what are they called? I don't even know. A lot of these things, people that like know this stuff, they know the wording and all that jazz, but I am terrible. And especially if I'm talking on and I'm trying to explain it to people that are just listening. This thing, and that thing, I remember like learning about tools when I growing up. My dad was just like, don't call it a thing. You don't call that a thing. You call it what it is, and that's what you got to do. And I've just never been good at that. I guess even in the digital world, I am not good at that. They have what's called workspaces, and you can set up your own workspace. Like if you want, right now I have it in the essentials kind of workspace. And basically that gives you this different layout right here that you can kind of see. And I found that that's been helpful for me, but you can customize your workspace however you want. Right. So I throw in my stuff, and then what you do is you just drop it in here, and you can have multiple different videos. And then you go down here, and this is like one that I finished probably the other day, and you can screen out, screen in, and basically you go through and you can cut and throw in like, and they have over here, like, I don't know what these things are called. I need to have what things are called, man. If someone is watching this and they know what these things are called, put them in the comments, make me look a little bit better. I don't know if that would make me look better or worse, but I put them in there so that the people listen to this, they can be like, actually know what these things are called, but man, that is piss poor. Okay. So yeah, that's it. Okay. So yeah, you go in here, I throw in stuff, and then I can snip, edit, cut, clip, all that jazz, and make it how I want it to sound. So that's what I do. That's what I do. So I go in there, I clip it up, cut it up how I want it to sound and how I want it to look and all that. So that is Premiere Pro. This is very just like what it looks like under the hood. But that's what's happening when I'm creating these videos. I'm dropping them in here and I'm going and cutting them. And then basically you export it, and I'll export a video version and I'll export an audio version, one that I can put on YouTube, and then one I can just upload to Podbean. And Podbean, you can actually upload the video version as well, and it can shoot out. But I'm not really doing that. I'm mainly from Podbean. I'm just sending out the audio, and that's because like for Spotify, it gives me this thing that says Spotify might pull your thing, might pull your video down because it does not support video. Maybe you just got to be that next level, because I know people do video on Spotify, but that's just kind of why I will have that different be. And obviously Apple Podcasts, you're not doing a video. It's more an audio. People just listen. So I want to have both versions of what I'm recording. So, and that's when I will export those from there. All right, moving right along. So if you are still with me, if you're still hanging in there, I have moved over to what I use is Photoshop. And this is what I pretty much use for editing and creating my thumbnails, because thumbnails are very important. So I definitely could get a lot better at doing them, but basically my process is I will go and I will pull a photo, which I have like with Adobe, you can get which is called Adobe stock. And basically it's just different. They can give you videos as well as just pictures, really cool pictures and all that kind of stuff. So I use Adobe stock, and I will go and I will pull some type of photo that kind of goes with the theme of whatever video I am creating, and I will pull that. So I try to get something as vibrant as possible, because I want my pictures just to be something that kind of just pops. I know just anybody wants that. And who knows, if my internet might just blow up if I try to do that. But I would say what I do is I take that picture of a picture that goes with the theme of what I'm talking about. Then I would put that on the canvas, and then I take a picture of myself. And I always try to take a picture of myself before the video starts, because otherwise I just forget about it and you're just like, dang, and all that stuff. And I've changed and I'm not looking the same way and all that. But I want to get a picture of myself of how I looked in the video. That's just me personally, how I'm doing it. And then I'll take that photo of myself. I will remove the background from that photo of that I took of myself, put it on that picture, and then I will do the wording of just the Brandon Fogal Show number, whatever I am on. And that's basically all I do. And it's once you kind of learn it and you kind of get into a rhythm, that's why I wanted to do these so often, so that I could quickly put one together. I know there are definitely professionals out there that know how to make thumbnails and make them so people want to click into them, because that is the whole point of a thumbnail. You want something that stands out, that people are actually, it's like, it sparks people's curiosity, that they're like, I got to click into this. You just got to keep going and going, because something might lift you off, take you to that next level. And then once that happens, if you have a viral moment or something like that, then people will go to your page and see all the stuff that you have created. So just because people aren't watching your stuff now, it doesn't mean that something's going to just blow up and then people are going to go to your stuff and just gangbuster style, just watch all your stuff, So that's gangbuster style. Okay. All right. So that's what I do to create the thumbnail. So I hope you took away something from this, and I will put more stuff out there like this and go into more detail so you can see in depth how I am editing and cutting stuff and putting it together, so that maybe you can take away and use it in whatever content that you want to create and put out there. All these things, it can just maybe spark something in your mind to say, wow, I maybe took that part away and I could use that to refine my process. So I hope something will be of benefit to you and give you value. Basically, if you can just see what I'm doing, maybe it'll help you in some way or fashion. So I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video.